Hi everybody, welcome back to This Darn Chicks Designs. I've got a little bit of a tutorial tonight to do. We're going to learn how to make a basket. Now, in order to make these baskets, we're going to use its all-purpose clothesline, okay? I got this over at Lowe's. It's a poly blend, and it is 3/16 inches by 100 foot. Obviously, we're not going to use the whole thing, but you are going to use the majority of it. So this right here, you can get, like I said, you can get it at Lowe's, you can get it at Home Depot, you can even get it at your craft store. Now there's also cotton that you can get, but because of the molding problem, cotton molds in damp areas, polyester doesn't. So we're going to actually go ahead and use this one, and it's by Everbuilt. So I'm going to show you what we're going to start off with here. So what you're going to do is you're going to take the end of your cord, okay, and take your glue gun. My glue gun is not in very good shape. You take your end of your glue gun, and then you're just going to put a little bit of glue. Be careful because, like mine is a high temperature one. You can get the lower temperature ones, but I just choose to get this one. I got this one over at Lowe's. So you're going to take it, and you're going to, you got to watch because it's really hot. And since I'm not using gloves, you should use gloves with this. Just don't get it on your skin. And you're going to glue, once it calms down there, you're going to glue these edges, okay? And kind of smush it down there a little bit. You see that? Glue those little edges there, all right? So what I go back in and do, because I need that flat piece here, I'm going to go right back in, and I'm going to glue this little area and smush it together there, okay? Kind of get it all together there. And let's just go ahead and we're going to take a little bit more glue here. And you only need just a tiny bit. Because basically what you're doing is you're just kind of keeping your bottom part together so you can get it over to the sewing machine. Oops. Go ahead and get that. So this is actually the start of the bottom of your basket, all right? Once it's cooled down there, just go ahead. And so basically what you're going to do is you're just going to turn it, is what you're doing. You're going to be turning it. So after this, you're going to want to go ahead, and let me grab a pin here because it's going to kind of unravel. You see what it's doing? All right. So we're going to take a pin so we can hold that piece together. I didn't get enough glue on here. Kind of get this glue here and smush it together. Let's hold that for a second. Now this is going on the bottom of your basket, so no one's going to see it anyways. Okay. Then you're going to take a pin, and you're going to want to pin from your sides. Now this lady that I watched this, her name is Crafty Kathy. She's the one that showed me how to do this. So once you get it to this point, this is where what you're going to do is you're going to sew like a little bit of an X. So you're going to sew from one side to the next side. So we're going to take you over, and I'm going to show you how to do that. Okay, so what you're going to do is you're going to take this piece, which is where we hot glued it, okay, from there. And then once we hot glued it, then we go ahead and we pin it, okay? That pin is to actually secure it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it underneath here, okay? And you kind of want to center it down there, and then you want to pull your pin out. So once you pull your pin out, that's when you're going to want to go ahead and start with the sewing, okay? So I'm hoping that you'll be able to see this. So you're going to leave it flat and hold this side, all right? Because you want the left side coming towards you. You want to hold this side, all right? And then you want to start up with your sewing. So you can start fast, slow, whatever. And so basically what it's doing is every time I do this, it's turning. So it's kind of hard to see here. The larger it gets, the easier it is for you to deal with it. Because then it's just going to do what it wants to do. And it just wants to start turning. See how it's starting to turn now? So and pretty much what you're doing, you're just eyeballing the two pieces for the middle and then turning with your fingers. The more you turn, the bigger the circle gets. You can do it faster or slower. Sometimes, like, I'm doing it so fast that I do mess up a little bit. Right now, all I'm doing is creating the bottom of my basket. And as long as it stays like this, do you see how large it's getting? As long as you keep it flat, you're okay. All right? So, because we don't want to lift your basket up until like midway down. So I'm just creating a small one so I can show you. Also on your stitch, you want to do a zigzag stitch that's going to go across, because what it's doing, it's sewing one side of your rope and the other side, and it's basically pulling it together all the way down. I was so excited to see this tutorial from Crafty Kathy, and she had done it I think over a year or so ago. But it doesn't matter, because guess what? These baskets, they sell everywhere. They sell them, Walmart, Target. They sell them, craft stores or whatever. And then they range anywhere from $10 on up to $30 on up to $50. So if you know how to do your own, you can pick out your own thread. You can pick out, the own color of your cord that you're going to use. But I can guarantee you, once you make one of these, they are not going to fall apart. So you got to figure out what's your base, which is the bottom part. And if you see where I'm taking my fingers, and I'm just basically just going around. These are pretty cool to do, though. Now, when you start making the bigger ones, then you're in here a little bit longer. Even if you wanted to stop like right here, okay, and say this is it, this is the only one that I want to make, you can make coasters out of these and then embroider the top of these coasters, which would be really cool. So you'd have to have, like I said, have an embroidery machine for it, but for time's sake, this is what we're going to do today. And the thread I'm using is just white thread. I could have changed up and used any thread I wanted, but just decided, no, don't want to do that. Because I'm more going for like a coastal look, since we live in North Carolina, Anybody loves the ocean. I'm always looking for a palm tree around here, but my husband says, no, they're not native. I know they're not native. But if I can find one, I definitely will take a picture of it. So you see how my base is getting larger and larger and larger? That's what we want. That's what we're looking for. The larger your bottom part is of your basket, the bigger your basket's going to be. Now, here in a minute, what we're going to do is we're going to turn this up a little bit. I'd say probably about right here. So about right here is what we're going to do. We're going to start turning it. So what you're going to do is you're going to take your hand and you're going to put it, you're going to kind of couple it underneath there and turn it up, hitting the side of your sewing machine. Okay? What that does is it starts making your sides of your basket. And you'll see it here in a minute where just that little turn made that one little area for your basket. Like I said, I don't want a really big basket. I just want a smaller one because I've got a succulent plant that I'm actually going to go ahead and put in there. So after a while, you start to see it. See it curl? It's curling from here to here. So after a while, when you start seeing it curl like that, you know that you've created your bottom. You're actually coming up from the sides here, and we're starting to create the sides of it. Now, when you get into it so far, if you want to, you can take strips of fabric, cut them up, and you can actually fold this piece over here. Okay, so we're going to fold it over. And you can actually go ahead and wrap it around there like this if you want to. Or you can just go ahead and wrap it around like this. Like this, which may be a little bit easier for some people. So once you do that, let's get it up here. We're going to get it up here really close. And then I'm just going to wrap this part over. Now it does become a pain, I can tell you that, because it's, you know, it's very tedious work. I mean, it's hard work to do this. This is not easy. So wrap it around here. Do it like that. Or you can do it like this. It's totally up to you on how you want to do it. It just depends on how thick the cord is from here. And see, because I didn't cut enough of it, I would probably have to wrap it all the way down. So let's try it this way. The width of your cord means a lot, especially when you're doing something like this. Because if you want to see the outside of the fabric, you're going to have to wrap it a certain way. So let's go ahead. We're just going to continue on in there. This is where it gets a little harder because you got to put these two pieces together. Watch your fingers at the same time. And then you just keep wrapping it. Then from there, you can wrap it a little bit tighter. But I can guarantee you, doing this, your basket will stay together. And it's always just nice to create our own baskets, it's always nice to just create your own thing anyways. Because then you know no one else has it. And then you're proud of what you've done. Whether you're sewing or you're painting or you're knitting or you're making baskets, it doesn't matter, upholstering, drawing, whatever. It's something that you've done for yourself. And you're very proud of what you've done. Okay, so as you can see, I've almost got my bowl done. It takes a little while to get these bowls done. But I'm also putting strips of fabric, just old fabric that I have. So if you don't want to get rid of your strips of fabric, the best way to use it is to actually sew it in with your bowl. Then you don't have all these extra strips of fabric, running around. And then it kind of gives it a really pretty color and texture to it too. So, like I said, these bowls you can make larger, you can make smaller, you can make posters out of them. At the plates, the little fabric plates that everybody's doing, the baskets that are on their wall, that's what this is. Some of this is made out of. They're lighter weight, so you can take it and probably stick it up with like a 3M piece, which is like a sticky back. And put those little baskets on your wall. These can be used as storage. Any type of little storage that you have, earrings, socks, or just decor. Now I'm using mine for a planner, just because of the base that I gave it. So once I'm done, it'll actually sit, and this little guy will sit in it. So you'll be able to see that here in just a moment. And so I got a little bit more cord to go. And then once that's done, then the bowl will be finished. Doesn't take very long to make one of these. You got about 30 minutes out of your day to do something like this. And you just want to add some texture or some extra decor to your living room, family room, your kitchen even. I mean, these would be great, like if you line them, make sure you line them, you know. But you could put apples and grapes and bananas and things like that in. That would be cool to sit on your counter. You know, or if you want to just put little spices in them, you can put your spices in them and set them right there on the counter, or put them in the cupboard. This is also good for just putting underneath the counter. Although I wouldn't, you know, it's a pretty basket. But, you know, everybody uses their baskets different ways. This one, like I said, however, I'm going to use as a planner. But because it's a succulent and it's not real, I don't have to worry about, you know, watering it and then the water going everywhere. But if you did put a plant in it, what you want to go ahead and do is put like one of the little grocery bags in there that you get over at your local grocery store. And that basically, that plastic will line it. So when you are, you know, watering your plant, you don't have to worry about it going through and then hitting your basket and, you know, messing it up. Because these don't mold, because it's polyester, it's not going to mold. But if it was cotton, then you definitely would see the mold from it. But you're not going to see that with this. So you don't really have to worry. Now you can't, it will get dirty, obviously, you know, because you've got plants, you know, sitting in it. So you just got to watch how you do it. It's like anything else. So we're almost finished with our bowl here. Okay, so we've got our bowl finished. I think it came out really pretty. I did put some fabric in between it there. This is the fabric that you saw me wrapping. That's just, you know, different extra strips. Kind of makes it a little bit more nautical or ocean-like. So what I'm going to do with my bowl is set my little succulent inside of it there. And then I may prop it up just a little bit. But anyway, so my little succulent's going to sit in there. And you can actually use this, like I said, you can use it for craft supplies. You can use it for, I've got little journals over here. If I wanted to set a journal in it, I could set my journal in it. You know, set your pens and papers in it. There's just so many things that you can do for this. I mean, it just, you know, and it's pretty. You can just display it even as is, honestly. So thanks for watching my tutorial. If you have any questions, let me know. See the bottom? You got the bottom. This is where we started at, remember. So this is where we started and kind of coiled all the way around to make this basket. And you see how pretty it is. So you can make one of these. They're very easy to do. So if you have any questions, let me know. Give me a thumbs up and pass my channel on to other people. And we'll come back with another tutorial. Have a good night.